Okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming out to Community Cooking with the Co-op. I'm Paul Addis. What was that?
It was letting you know it's recording.
Oh, thank you.
The robot voice was letting you know.
I heard it. Again, I'm Paul Addis. I'm a librarian at the Coos Bay Public Library. With me tonight is Tim Bolster, the outreach coordinator. That's it. At the Co-op, and my coworker Gene, who's our cook tonight. I'm excited to see this recipe in action because I was able to taste it before. And we are recording this, so I've taken out your last names and put them with just initials. If you guys want to turn your videos on, we'd love to see people cooking along, but we understand if you don't want to be on the library's YouTube channel later. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Gene and Tim. It's all yours, guys.
All right. So what we're going to get started with is peeling and cubing potatoes and beets, and we're going to put them in cold water. And
Two separate
pots, cold water, and we're going to bring it up to a boil. Once the water starts bubbling and boiling, we're going to move it down to a medium heat until it gets fork tender.
So we're still chopping our potatoes.
Yeah, I'm going to chop some potatoes.
Some of you might be, I'll grab some. Some of you might be peeling right now or chopping right now, but I mean, we're just going to finish chopping our potatoes and put them in our cold water.
And the potatoes, so if you want them to cook faster, chop them smaller. It doesn't really make a huge difference because it's going to get mashed up later.
The beets are not going to get mashed or anything,
No.
right? So is boiling them helping them cook faster?
Yeah, so the boiling is going to help them cook faster, so that way when you broil them, they're just going to get a nice caramelization around the beets and just going to get a nice not skin, but essentially skin.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so we're boiling them first, and then we're going to kind of roast them after.
Yeah, because otherwise the roasting takes.
So for those who just logged on, you want to start peeling your potatoes and your beets and have two separate pots of cold water ready to put those in. We're going to start boiling them from cold water. And feel free to unmute or put questions in chat if you have questions about anything.
Yes, no cook left behind, right, Paul?
No, heck no. Everybody's finishing this dish.
Here for you. So while we chop here, we'll probably move on to our next thing soon, Gene. But what was cooking like in your house growing up? Like growing up, what were like some dishes you remember?
Oh man. So my mom is famous for saying she doesn't cook.
Your mom's famous for saying she doesn't cook?
She doesn't cook. She is a great cook though. She just said she doesn't cook, so no one would ask her to cook.
Yeah, you say you're bad at something,
yeah,
so no one makes you do it.
Yeah. So like traditional like Peruvian food, like lomo saltados, ceviches de pollo.
Yeah.
My dad was very into like Chinese food and like Asian influences.
Yeah.
So you got really having to like stir fries, making stuff with bok choy, ham choy.
Cool.
And using like gochujang, like Korean spices. And black bean paste stuff. So it was like fairly open. And my mom was a huge advocate of us just like testing stuff out and just like kind of having a roll at it.
Yeah.
So it was fun to just be able to like cook stuff, try stuff out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you try again.
Nice.
Like I remember, I think I bought squid once, and I could not muster cleaning it.
I've never cooked with. Paul, have you ever cooked with squid before?
No, but I've eaten a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cleaning.
Surprisingly tasty, but no.
Terrified.
Yeah, totally. Oh, so Jennifer asked if there's any way this recipe will be made available to print, or will there be a link? If anybody wants Gene's recipe, he has given it to me. Just email me. You all have my email in the Zoom thing, and I can email you the recipe tomorrow.
I can also refine that recipe so it's a little bit more cohesive and answer the questions.
Thank you, Gene. So yeah, just email me tomorrow, Jennifer, or anybody else, and we'll get you that.
So far, right now, we have our beets in one pot. We have our potatoes in another. And why did we start with cold water?
So the cold water makes it so that the potatoes and beets cook from the center out. If you put the potatoes and beets in warm water, the outside will cook faster than the inside. So you want a nice even cook. So it's not, for example, if you cook it in hot water, you'll get like mushy, like starchy water because the potato starts disintegrating too quickly before the center is done.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So we want to start the heat with the potatoes in the cold water first.
So that way it cooks slowly.
Okay.
And gets like a better, firmer texture.
Yeah. Okay, so we have that going. That's gonna go for a little while,
Yeah,
right?
and then let's go ahead and let's see. Let's chop some mushrooms.
We're gonna chop some mushrooms.
So grab some mushrooms, and you want to cut these mushrooms fairly thin. Something that you can do, which I recommend, is cut the bottom off.
the kind of stem looking part
Yeah.
off.
Alan, can we see the table where they're
Okay.
cutting? Oh, thank you.
All right, so you're gonna cut the stem off right here. Separate that. You're still gonna use it. We're gonna just chop it up finely.
Oh, so we're gonna put it aside.
Yeah, just put it aside,
Save it.
and
Okay.
then you just start dicing away.
Nice.
And this is going to be like a clean dice because we're going to be cubing them up. So it's up to you how you feel, like preference how you feel like slicing everything up. I like,
Are we gonna cut them pretty small, or are we gonna?
yeah,
keep
we
them-
just want them fairly thin and small
Okay.
because we want a lot of surface area so it kind of gets a nice, not crunch, but a nice like.
Okay. So we're really chopping them up into pretty small pieces.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of my favorite things is the smell of mushrooms cooking.
Mushrooms are so good.
Wait till you taste them in the recipe, man. Whoa.
Do you have any staples that you're like, as a cook, are there things you always keep in the kitchen, like stuff you're always working with?
Yeah, so again, being from Peru, I constantly buy as close to as in bulk as I can ají amarillo and
Okay.
ají blanca, which are like two Peruvian staples. Like any dish has these two things.
Can you describe it to me, like what that would be? What
So
it
ají
tastes
blanca-
like? Is it a?
It's kind of like, I want to say like Chipotle
Uh-huh.
without the smoke and without the heat. So it
Interesting.
just brings this like bright color and bright flavor. And then ají amarillo, despite it being a pepper, it has a kind of like citrusy vibe to it.
Yeah.
So it's used heavily with citrus. For example, if you had a ceviche, it would have ají amarillo and lime and a bunch of other stuff.
Do you
But
find those around here?
here locally, not yet.
Yeah.
Fingers
Hopefully one
crossing
day.
sometime. But I can get them ordered in. I can like when I go up to visit friends up in like Portland or other areas, I stop by the bodegas
Yeah.
and just grab as much as I can.
Cool.
But other than that, another sample that we've gotten is like the gochujang paste, the
Yeah.
Korean paste, because
Mhm.
it goes well with anything.
Yeah. we
Make a
do
little
that
stir
too.
fried egg on top of that, and you're good.
Yeah.
Or like scallion pancakes, and that is a nice like dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun to do.
Sika said she's having streaming problems. Is everybody else okay or it's okay on my end?
We're all right here. I see Joanne.
Yeah.
She's
Let us know in
moving
the
around.
chat if
Yeah, it's a little bit choppy here.
Yeah. Joanne, I've noticed sometimes you are everything clear for Jennifer. It might just be where you're at. I noticed my internet's being a little weird, but the weather's really crazy right now.
Hey, with that rain coming down, I wonder if we.
If there's any
Yeah.
questions or you guys need me to repeat anything, just let me know, and I'll repeat what I'm saying.
But we're still just working our way through our mushrooms. Some of you might be, who knows, maybe still working your way through your potatoes or anything like that.
And don't worry about like there isn't like a set unison for the mushrooms. They're gonna be all incorporated into a sauce, so it doesn't have to be like
Perfect.
perfect, most
Slices
visually.
of
Yeah.
mushrooms or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes too with the streaming, I find if I close all the other tabs on my browser and make sure I don't have any other programs running, it helps a little.
Yeah, the internet.
Yeah,
Less to do maybe.
I think a few people are having problems. Thanks, Stacy.
Well, this is good. It's like kind of rainy outside and it's been cold, and I feel like this is going to be a good dish for that.
Oh yeah, it's nice and warm.
Other things in the wintertime that you like to make, Gene?
Oh,
Like winter dishes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
so my favorite winter dish is like butternut squash soup.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
caramelize onions, roasted potatoes with it, and just like blend that up until it flits.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
creamy and great. Like so, we do it with like the Frito corn chips.
Yeah.
That's what we have it with, and it's like
Oh,
favorite thing in the
nice.
world. Like it reminds me of like
See, butternut squash soup with Frito.
Fritos on the side. You just like dip into it.
I
Oh,
used
so
to
you,
eat those.
you don't put them in the soup, you just dip them?
Yeah, you dip them into it, kind of like little like croutons.
I've
Oh,
done
nice.
I've done that with chili before.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Patricia.
that was good too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But as a kid, it reminds me of like putting chips on a sandwich. That's what
Oh,
we did.
yeah, I love doing that.
First time
Yeah.
I did that, it blew my mind. I'm not even kidding. Because like,
Crunch, salty.
like
Like,
I moved to the States and I saw a kid doing two sandwiches. Like, what are you doing? I was like, hey, dude, you gotta try this.
gotta
Like,
put
that's
chips on
weird.
your sandwich.
And
Yeah.
I'm like
And it's so
mind
good.
blowing.
Yeah. That's the kind of American culinary.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that and canned cheese whiz, man.
Can spray it out on a cracker.
Right, right.
Okay, so we got our mushrooms all chopped up.
So once you have the mushrooms all chopped up, we're going to heat this up
Cool.
and do a nice medium high. So it gets
Do we
nice
need
and
some more olive oil or no?
Yeah, we'll add some olive oil as soon as it starts.
Alan,
getting-
can we see what he's pointing at?
Do we have a small little?
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Heat up the saute pan.
So
And are we boiling the potatoes right now, guys?
yeah, so the potatoes should be boiling in the background.
Cool. Everybody have their potatoes boiling?
With the beets, yeah, we started them in cold water, but we turned the heat on and they're working their way up to a boil now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, our mushrooms
Yeah, we're gonna be
are
the
all
chopped
cut.
up mushrooms. We're gonna go ahead and season them up.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So we're gonna do.
Check your meat butter.
A little bit of salt and pepper.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, half a tablespoon. Actually, no, one. Yeah, 1 teaspoon of salt
Teaspoon of salt.
and half of some pepper.
Cool.
And then we'll add.
1 whole teaspoon salt and 1/2 teaspoon pepper.
Yep, and then we're gonna add some flour to coat it up.
Okay.
So what this works as, after I tried it the first time, is essentially we're making kind of like a roux type situation,
Oh,
To get-
okay.
base and thicker sauce.
Yeah, it was interesting to me when I saw that you added the flour
Yeah,
with the
How much flour should folks at home be adding?
about 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons.
Or just enough to coat, for example, it depends on the sizing of your mushrooms. It's just enough to coat all the mushrooms all together.
You want them
Oh,
all
okay.
powdery white.
Yep, powdery white.
Okay.
Like they've been rolling in the snow.
I just want to remind people to listen to the amounts Gene says, because he might be adding more because he's cooking for more people at the co-op.
A little bit more flour.
Good. Okay, so you want them pretty powdery white, like noticeably floury.
Yeah, because that's gonna make the whole roux, and it's also gonna give them a nice coating. So start. But it just helps it kind of brown up a little faster than normal.
Got it.
Cool.
So then we're gonna do.
And those of you that are cooking along, don't forget to email me pictures of your dishes before you eat them, please.
Yeah, it's great to see it.
You guys all have my email in your Zoom confirmations.
And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of oil, or as much as you need to coat the pan.
Oil in the pan, 2 tablespoons or whatever you need to coat it.
We're gonna let it kind of burn around a little bit.
All right. 2 tablespoons of oil.
And we're gonna grab some of the butter.
Grabbing our butter now as well.
All right.
And we're gonna cut. Love the fact that we got this. It's a 1/4 cup. Can't be right. This is,
Quarter
this
cup.
is a 1/4 cup.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, man.
So a 1/4 cup of butter, is that
Yeah,
what you
1/4
need?
cup of butter.
All right. 1/4 cup of butter.
Side of the packaging, it kind of tells you.
Yeah.
We can show, maybe you want to show how much we
So
have
just
here.
about that much butter
All
And you-
right.
to
You're gonna chop it up a little
chop it
bit.
up a little bit so it's gonna melt a little bit faster.
Got it. So we're not throwing the whole just stick in the pan. We're gonna,
We are, but just.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
just chopped it.
yeah. And it's gonna bubble and then it's gonna start browning up.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna whisk it up a little bit.
I'm just gonna mix and incorporate it with the oil.
The oil and the butter is all mixing together. Looking pretty professional in here, I gotta say.
Yes.
To get those bubbles roaring, just move the heat down to a medium because you don't want to burn it.
So turn it down to a medium when you have that butter boiling, right?
Yep, as soon as you see those bubbles.
As soon as you see the bubbles, turn it down.
Just let it cook a little bit long. So this is where it goes into preference. If you want a nuttier flavor, you want to let the butter brown a little bit more. It's going to give those like nutty notes. If you don't want that, go ahead and start adding the mushrooms now. So after the bubbles, incorporate mushrooms. If you want I would recommend it a little bit of a richer flavor. Let the butter sit in there with the heat and just brown out a little bit more.
Cool.
Make sure you whisk it every so often so it doesn't burn. You get a nice, rich, kind of amber color.
Clarifying it.
Yeah.
What was that, Alan?
Clarifying your butter.
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
Is that what
Yeah,
it's
when
called?
it's brown, when it browns slightly, it's clarifying.
So you want to go for that. Then add in the mushrooms.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
All right.
And that flour is going to start cooking fairly quick with it. I just toss a little bit.
These two?
Yeah.
All of it? All right. And it looks good already.
So let's get a spatula.
All right.
Yes, chef.
Thanks, huh? And as soon as you add it in, just start moving everything around so the butter and oil get soaked up everywhere, and we start browning everything.
Nice. This is
And this is
exciting.
the point where you can, if you want to, if you like your food a little bit saltier, add a little bit more salt. I recommend waiting until everything is kind of like sauced over to figure out where you're at with preferences. But adding salt at this step will help dehydrate the mushrooms a little bit more so they get crunchier.
Oh, okay.
Like pull the moisture out.
Yeah.
I mean, we have butter going and mushrooms, and I can already tell this is my kind of.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Where do you go wrong?
Yeah.
Butter and mushrooms. Oh man.
Yeah. It's on like nice
We're gonna
made
cook
bread.
these, and then
That's it.
we're done. We're gonna eat the buttered mushrooms.
So we're gonna let that kind of roll up for a little bit longer.
All right.
I just have a question. Like, if your potatoes or beets have reached a boil, do you want to turn them down? Do we turn them down?
Yeah. So once it gets to like a roaring boil, you want to put them down to like 3 or like low heat. So that's like
To a low. Low, medium, low. Once they boil, you can turn them down. Let them sit in the kind of simmering water.
Like squish them or work through them. If you do anything else, we get these ones one more time. Usually the beets also you can tell if more cooking just based on the color. Like if it's like really rich, like red in the center part, and it's still falling a little bit more.
Okay. So if you can stick a fork through it, that's a good sign.
Yeah, and then you can also do it by color.
And the color.
And potatoes, just feel free to like squish them against the wall of the pot. If they squish, mash, they're good to go.
So you want to
All
get
right.
those mashed potatoes. Yeah. Cool.
Everybody catch that? Everybody checking their beets and potatoes? Joanne, you're nodding your head like no, maybe, or
Perfect. So while the mushrooms are going, we're gonna get working on the second part. We're gonna eventually, once the mushrooms cook, we're gonna remove them from heat, and we're gonna work on deglazing the pan, and also we're gonna cook the aromatics up essentially, which is the garlics.
Nice.
so Joanne asked, what do you do when they are cooked?
With the potatoes, mushrooms, or the beets.
Which, Joanne?
Potatoes and beets.
All right, so once the beets and the potatoes are done, we're gonna cook them from heat.
Can we just leave them in the water for now?
You can leave them in the water. I would drain the potatoes.
Okay.
Beets you can leave in. Actually, no, drain all of it. It's gonna be easier if you drain all of it right now.
So when you feel like they can be squished and mashed and
Yeah.
they reach a nice consistency,
go ahead and just remove them from the
drain
water,
the water.
so that way they start cooling down. Because we want the beets fairly cool, so we can toss them in some a little bit of balsamic vinegar and sugar, so they cook up again.
Okay.
Cool. Good question, Joanne.
Yeah, good question. Thank you.
Because I forgot about explaining that step.
No worries.
All right,
Yeah.
then garlic is a preference thing. I've never measured garlic. I just add as much garlic as I possibly can to anything.
That's how we do it here at Community Cooking.
Yeah.
I don't think you're alone.
Yeah, not all. So garlic is our next step, right? So we're getting the garlic out.
Yeah, we're gonna get the garlic out.
The
Get
recipe
more
calls
garlic
for
than you
3
need.
cloves, I think. We're
Yeah.
gonna just put as much in.
As much as you want, and get more than you need because some of this garlic is also going to be going to the beets when they
Okay.
roast.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna do it.
More than 3 is
Yeah,
even better. Okay.
yeah, because you want some for the beets, some for the mushrooms, and we're just letting the mushrooms cook, dehydrate, and get a nice, like dark amber color or like a nice like
Great.
coloring to it.
Awesome.
And just every so often, just kind of like check underneath the pan, move everything around.
And Gina and I did coordinate shirts today, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
Morning text. Okay, what are you wearing?
I just caught that.
If it isn't browning fast enough, just bring the heat back up a little bit, and that should help the browning of it.
All right.
Essentially, if you can see, I don't know where I'd make it. It's already kind of clumping up, and it's already kind of thickening up by itself.
Uh-huh.
The flour at work to
Yeah.
kind of making essentially like a quick roux-esque type thing.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So
We're gonna chop some garlic, press some garlic, chop it.
That's the part that I'm not that great with.
Garlic is not strong. suit.
Garlic is my weakness, but I love it.
All right, next question. What are 3 kitchen tools you can't do without? Knives aside, we all use
Yeah,
knives.
knives aside, whisks.
Whisk.
I
things a
love
lot.
me a good whisk.
Yeah.
I recently finally purchased like a food immersion blender.
Yeah.
So
Oh
it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
it so much easier instead of having to like take out the blender, put everything in, put everything
The
back.
immersion blender is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially for like butternut squash and things like that soup.
Creamy
Uh,
soups.
Love an immersion blender.
Yeah. And we're chopping up the garlic, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna like I smash it up a little bit because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not good at peeling it out any other way.
No, yeah, that's the strategy for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Joanne's favorite kitchen tool obviously is wine, and that is capped with 4
Good.
exclamation
the wine
points.
opener. The wine opener.
Yeah, you gotta have that, I guess. Yeah.
It's like a little thing, but I use a grater, like a.
Oh,
I
good
actually use it
grater's
for
good.
carrots a lot. So we
Oh
like
yeah.
salads with
I
no
was just
things
talking
you
about
eat,
this.
and I grate the carrots into the salad
Peeler.
almost every time. Peeler.
A good peeler
whatever,
makes
yeah.
a difference also.
Yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
that's just like
peeler. Right.
compliment to the peeler you guys have here. It's like smooth like butter.
Yeah. A bad peeler is like a bad knife. Probably.
Yeah, it slows you down, just
Slows you
ruins the
down.
meal a little bit.
See, I like to cut my carrots for salad, so I have a little crunch in there.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But sometimes it can be hard to get with the fork, you know?
This is true. I do have that challenge nightly.
I gotta say, he said garlic was his weakness, but he's chopping like a pro. over here.
I just can't peel it. My issue is the peeling. Once I get past that hurdle,
I'm a slow chopper and I'm okay with it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have
Too.
to chop super quick.
I'm just a slow cook in
I'm
general.
not gonna be pressured into doing it fast and making a mistake, you know?
Yeah, take your time chopping. Enjoy it.
Savor every chop.
Yeah, it's a little experience.
Can I help with any more garlic? I know we have.
No, I think we're pretty.
Okay.
If you want to, actually, yeah.
Sure.
Because more garlic, the merrier.
And so just to remind me, the garlic is gonna go in with the mushrooms, right?
Yep, and also some with the beets.
And
We're
some
gonna-
with the beets, okay.
So with the beets, you have the option of putting in whole cloves and garlic and chop it up.
Uh-huh.
It's up to you.
So you can
I
put a whole
would-
clove in there.
You
if
can put a
want
whole
to.
clove if you want, if you don't want to deal with the
And the
chopping.
beets are gonna be roasted.
Yeah,
we're
so it's
talking
gonna give
about
that like nice roasted garlic feeling to it without it being
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I would recommend chopping it up so it incorporates a little bit better. And you want everything mixed in nicely.
Okay.
Cool. How are all our cooks doing? Anybody have any questions?
Hopefully we're going at a good pace for you. Let us know if we.
So something I just happened right now, if your mushrooms are clumping up a little bit too much, don't feel bad about just stabbing at it and just separating them out a little bit more. If the flour is getting everything to stick a little bit too much.
Cool.
Getting too clumpy.
Yeah, too clumpy. Also, don't worry about like stuff sticking to the pan. That's gonna give more flavor to the sauce.
Oh, okay, cool.
Once we deglaze,
Once
right?
we deglaze.
Yeah.
Nice. Feel free to unmute or put it in chat if you have a question.
I'm gonna incorporate my garlic with your garlic.
All right.
Oh,
Are
side,
we adding garlic to the,
yeah.
Wait, say that again, Joanne?
are we adding garlic to the beets right now?
No. So the garlic will be added to the beets after the beets are cooked and cold. And we're gonna toss them with some balsamic vinegar, garlic, spices, and a little bit of oil. And we're
So
gonna
we
put
can-
that into the oven so it cooks nicely.
So we can
So they
put
can
some
just put the
aside.
garlic for the beets aside for now, right?
Because we don't wanna like chop garlic and have to come back to chopping garlic. Might as well just get them done.
Right, might as well do it all at one time. Okay, so some
Makes
garlic
sense.
set aside.
Yeah.
Would you say like 2 or 3 cloves aside?
Yeah, I do
maybe?
2 or 3 cloves.
Okay,
Again, if you like more garlic, do more. If you like less garlic, do less.
cool. Okay, got a bunch of garlic.
Yeah, and then
Chops.
while we're waiting, we can chop up some onions.
Mm-hmm.
I'd recommend dicing them as finely as possible.
Okay, so we're gonna cut them really fine.
A trick for not crying with onions is chewing gum, ideally mint gum.
I don't know, I need a good cry every once in a while. and
Yeah, you
onion
need
seems
to,
like a
yeah.
good no,
Find a good movie or a good onion or both.
It's a chew gum, huh?
Yeah, it just blocks up your like nose apparently and just
Huh.
lets you like not smell like the oils.
Wow.
Interesting. Never
Yeah,
heard that one.
Never heard that one. I've always just like have a sharp knife.
Yeah,
the,
a
that's
sharp
the-
knife
as
does
sharp, as sharp as knife as you can.
because if you have a dull knife, you're hitting like I think puts out more of its oils.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's mashing more of the oils.
Oh,
Cut it.
interesting.
Also, if it's an old onion, it will have more of that than a younger onion.
Yeah. I knew someone once who wore like science like goggles every time they chopped on.
I tried that once and it did not work, and I just felt like a fool. Just having like goggles on, just trying to chop onions was like this.
If you're breathing it in, I wonder if
Yeah.
your nose is still affecting you.
Because now
I have
you're
this on.
Swim goggles. Okay, swim goggles on, trying to.
Scuba
The
gear.
first time we had a 12-year-old cook along by himself, by the way, to this program, he kept wiping his eyes when he was chopping the onion. He had to go away for a while and watch.
Oh, no.
oh yeah, don't touch if you touch onions, don't touch your face.
Yeah.
Same with peppers and
Same
anything.
with
Hot sauce.
We're like, no, don't do that.
And it was too late.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So-
Onions, I get chopped.
Talking about sharp knives,
Yes.
a nice knife tip is avoid scooping stuff up with your like knife like this.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone does it. I used to do it, but it ruins the edges of the knife a little bit. Goes a
Okay.
little bit faster.
You use the knife like a scoop kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
But use the back side and you're fine.
Got it.
Just
Okay.
flips.
I'm always using the front side.
Yeah, I used to do it too, and then something like, no, you're gonna ruin your knives. I'm like,
That's
oh.
interesting. I thought you were gonna say just like, risk of cutting yourself or something. But no,
Nope.
just
That doesn't matter for a sharp knife.
yeah.
No, but aside of that, sharp knives make it so you don't cut yourself as often.
Yeah, it's like safer.
Yeah,
Right.
because you're not putting pressure into it, so it makes it a lot easier to like glide through.
Right.
Also, if you're cutting up the onion and you feel like it isn't like fine enough, you can just like do a rough chop over it. You can just kind of just go at it and just kind of like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be just fine enough so it's gonna just melt into the sauce essentially.
Awesome.
Rudimentary chopping technique.
It's not bad, it gets the job
Yeah.
done.
How's it smelling in there, Tim?
Well, I'm smelling a lot of onion right now. I'm getting a
Oh,
lot,
right. Of course.
but
I was looking at those mushrooms boiling and I can't smell the onion, obviously.
The mushrooms are smelling awesome, Paul. I'm further away from the onions.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they do look good. That flour and obviously the butter is really.
All right, there
Oh,
we
yeah.
go. So that's what we want, like that nice golden. Almost want to make a pancake out of them.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Man, I promised I was gonna cry on TV. But the onion right in my eye.
It's a safe space. You tried. Cool.
Yeah.
Mushrooms look awesome. Yeah, and they really like almost clump together. I mean, it's
Yeah.
almost like it's turning into one
Pancake.
thing. Yeah.
So
Like a
once
roux.
the mushrooms are cooked,
Like
we're going to take them out. So I'm gonna find a bowl over
Yeah.
here.
So you said we're gonna take the mushrooms out of the pan.
Yep. Once they're cooked and golden enough,
Okay.
and that's where we're gonna start adding the garlic, the onions, and starting to deglaze
Oh,
everything.
right. Okay. Do you need a spatula or something?
Oh, we got this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna wait for a little bit longer.
So Gene, how do folks know when their mushrooms are done?
So when they have like this like nice golden crust to it,
There comes the camera.
if you're making the
Pull it up here
crust,
if you want to.
Oh,
So it's kind
there
of
we go.
crusted to the bottom almost a little bit.
That's when it's done. You can cook it a little bit longer if you want. When I made this at home, I cut it super thin, and I was just like laying them out so they just kind of like burns almost because I like my mushrooms very charred. So this is like preference.
And it almost starts to like lose its form a little bit. I mean, it's clearly mushrooms, but
Yeah.
to a certain extent, maybe the really smaller pieces have started to not even
Yeah, disintegrate.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
disintegrate kind of. So we've really cooked these mushrooms.
yeah.
You know.
Wait till you taste them in the recipe. It's so.
Oh,
We'll leave the pan semi kind of dirty like this, and we're gonna add first the garlic.
okay, so it's important, right, that we're using the same pan
Same pan.
that the mushrooms were just in.
Okay.
Some of the garlic. A little bit
So
of
some of
oil.
the garlic, not all the garlic yet. This might be our 3 cloves or something
Yeah.
like that, right?
And we're gonna just kind of like start kind of scraping the bottom until the garlic gets very aromatic, and then we're gonna add the onions.
So what do you have your burner on there, Gene?
High medium?
Medium? Okay.
Yeah, like a higher medium.
Okay.
So as soon as the garlic, you can start smelling it, which I guess I'm gonna smell it right now because I'm just right in it. But as soon as it starts smelling very fragrant, then we're gonna start adding in the onions and start scraping everything out of the bottom of the pan.
Ooh, okay.
Once it gets a little bit almost translucent, that's when we're gonna add the wine and start cooking everything in.
Cool.
And remind us, Gene, if people don't want to use wine, what can they use?
Apple cider vinegar. They'll give you the same kind of like tart, but without the wine.
So if you can't use wine, you can use apple cider vinegar.
And of course, the recipe called, I think, like beef broth is an option, right? We went veggie broth,
is
because we
good.
tend to do things
Yeah,
veggie here, but obviously there's options.
yeah. Like if
Yeah.
you want to, you can add meats, add different types of tofus, add eggplant, zucchini to this also. It's gonna be real good.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That does sound
incorporate
good.
stuff that you want to incorporate to it. It's up to you essentially. The filling is your choice and call.
Cool.
Of course, you guys excited Joanne when you mentioned wine.
All right. So once
Oh,
it's-
Jennifer wants to know if you could add lentils.
That sounds interesting.
yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, I don't see why
I
not.
would roast the lentils first before you boil them, so they have a little bit more bite to it. So just roast the lentils, a little bit of salt and pepper and paprika if you want, in a pan, and then add water to it so it doesn't, unless you want like more.
Mushy.
Yeah, I wanted to find another word that wasn't mush.
Let me say it.
Mushy like texture. Like I would do that so it has a little bit more bite to it, so the lentils stay more
That's
together.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
You're
never
talking
thought
about
about that
red
before.
lentil.
How?
Like even a red lentil
Any lentil.
or
Any lentil, if you roast them first, they'll keep its shape a little bit better. Because I'm a fan of lentils, but I like
You don't like them all mushy.
I don't like
Yeah.
not all.
Yeah, 'cause the
Or
red
the word
lentils-
mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind the word mushy. I just feel like it's negative,
Yeah.
but I don't mean it as a negative. I like mush stuff. Like mashed potatoes are delicious. And they're the
Delicious.
Oh,
mushiest.
yeah. Jennifer added the red ones turn mushy. The green ones are more firm. Okay.
Great.
The green ones have a thicker skin on them, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
So we're tossing our onions in right
Yep.
now.
Tossing the onions in.
So our garlic was ready. It was aromatic. So we're throwing our onions in.
Excellent.
Can I throw mine in too?
So you can smell kind of like the weekend, the burning kind of garlic and everything kind of just, you just want to like move everything around. And it's going to start picking up and scratching at the bottom of the pan.
What is it doing at the bottom of the pan, Gene?
Scratching and picking up all the like leftover,
It's like we're scraping.
Oh,
off
okay. I got you.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
the flavor.
Nice.
And then we're going to add just enough wine to go at the bottom, which I think is going to be about 2 tablespoons.
Maybe 2 tablespoons of wine or apple cider vinegar. If you decided not to go with the wine.
I lied. It's 3.
We're going 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
And this is going to really help to get this, what do you call it, the caramelization
Yeah.
off the bottom, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you're allowing the onions to just kind of really get in there with it. So it's all the, like the residue flavor from the mushroom, or if you use any other proteins or any other like veggies, this is where the flavor kind of really picks up and incorporates to the onion.
Nice.
It's the
That's
best
if you can spare the wine, Joanne.
part.
If not, use the apple cider vinegar. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
She knows I'm just giving her a hard time.
Cool. So again, we're like scraping the bottom a little bit. We're really
Yep.
trying to get all of that mushroom that is still stuck to the bottom of the pan off. And that's going to have good flavor, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just rich.
So he's like, I mean, I'm just watching Gene, like literally like going around and finding all those mushrooms.
Yeah. So any spots
You know.
you just want to like
You need a sharper one. You want to
Yeah, do we have like
metal one?
I'm not going to argue with that, Joanne. She said wine goes with everything,
It does go with a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
especially food.
So,
There we go.
all right, I think we're good.
It really absorbs that wine.
So we're gonna just let it cook out a little bit.
You know how long about we're going to let these onions cook?
Until they caramelize, which can take anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Depending on the heat.
Yeah, you got a lot in there.
Yeah, so we got a bit of time. So if you want stuff to caramelize faster, larger pans and less onions allow for more surface area to cook, and that'll allow it to like heat it up and cook a lot faster. Other than that, we'll just let that chill out.
How about a question for you?
Shoot.
Here's the question. What's the best, this might be a difficult one. What's the best meal you've ever had? Not that you cooked. It doesn't have to be the fanciest thing, but like a thing you ate somewhere, sometime.
Oh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
That is real rough because there's a lot. Like I'm a sucker. I go to a Korean restaurant on a regular basis whenever I'm in Portland, and I get to know
I do love
it's
Korean
like a good like braised short rib and soon tofu soup, which
Yeah.
is just like spicy and just a bunch of bean sprouts and spinach kimchi.
Yeah,
Eat that every single day.
that sounds good.
But the thing that really blew my mind is I had I don't think they exist anymore, but it was like Joe's Burger in downtown when I was a kid. And it was a veggie burger and it has a slice of bacon on
Veggie burger with a slice of bacon. Nice.
it. And it was just like
It was good, huh?
way better than any regular burger.
Did
Like
you say Joe's Burger?
yeah,
Cool.
Joe's Burger.
Yeah, is that Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just fantastic. It's like, because at that point in time, I was like, meat's all right.
Yeah.
But that, a good veggie burger, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what-
related to that, I
Rest-
got to jump in here. Related to that, Gene was going to make black bean smash burgers this month. But he brought in samples for us a while back with a little bit of bacon on the sliders. It was amazing.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you could use a fake
Some point-
bacon too, you know?
At some point, we'll have Gene back to make those black. bean
Hopefully, yeah, because
burgers.
it's a
Definitely.
good burger is a good, like,
It is, yeah.
I know there's a whole debate, it's like, oh, but it's not, you're not trying to change. or
You're not trying to make a
replace.
burger.
Yeah.
I mean, you are, but
But it's its own
different-
thing.
It's its
Yeah.
own thing. Yeah.
Let veggie burgers be their own thing, because veggies are delicious, man.
Yeah.
Like some black beans, some lentils, a little bit of quinoa if you want to toss it in there.
Yeah.
I had a sweet veggie burger once, and it had like carrots and squash in it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And it's still like filling, you get the bun. You get all
Yeah.
Question, are you a pickle fan?
yeah.
I'm not. How did
Oh,
you just cucumbers on it?
Not, oh, you put cucumbers
Yeah,
on here.
because it's still like, you want the crunch.
Yeah.
Cucumber, like, I understand why, like, I get the concept of pickles, I understand why people like it.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but I still want the experience without the pickles.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You throw a cucumber. on it.
Cucumbers
That
in
makes
it.
sense.
I love pickles on my burgers, but I did love that cucumber on a slider, man. That was really good.
Put a cucumber on it too.
Yeah.
Man, Gene's special that day was,
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you, that burger that I tried was like, just like I'm gonna just aim
it
for the.
inspired you.
Yeah. All right, so while that goes, we can work on, let's see,
Yeah. we're gonna do-
let's work on,
The potatoes and the beets.
yeah, let's see how they're doing.
Okay. Let's see how soft and ready our potatoes and beets are.
There. All right, so good, like minute or 2 minutes on the potatoes and beets. And we should be good to start smashing them.
Ours are almost there.
Hey,
Uh,
Gene, do we need an oven?
Yes, we need oven preheated to 350.
Okay.
So preheat your ovens through 350 at this step.
Everybody who's cooking along, start preheating your ovens at 350.
Thank you for reminding me.
I just thought of that.
All right, so these onions are just about good to go.
Cool.
So what we're gonna do is make a little hole in the center.
Okay, so we're creating a little pocket in the
A
middle.
pocket.
Hole, yeah.
And
Okay.
add is tomato paste.
Tomato paste. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna add half a teaspoon,
Just have to.
no, just 1 teaspoon of tomato paste. Let's see how much that is. Let's do 2 teaspoons.
We're going 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Nice.
Put 2 teaspoons of tomato paste in that center.
Let that sit in for a little bit. No oils needed. You can do a little bit of salt and pepper.
So. These onions are smelling great right now.
I bet.
So we're
Okay.
gonna do half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. If you don't like pepper, don't do this. I like pepper. I like peppery things. Like one of the things that I just found out that I'm really into, ketchup with pepper, French fries.
Oh.
You're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I did not notice I could do that, and as soon as I learned I can do that, I have not gone back to just regular ketchup.
You add pepper.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's going right now. You're gonna add paprika too?
we're gonna add a little bit of paprika.
Okay.
All right.
If you
And
want
that
to
was a half teaspoon each of salt and pepper, right?
And also paprika as well. You want,
Oh, half teaspoon as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you want to get adventurous, I use a sriracha sauce with my ketchup.
I
too.
do love sriracha ketchup.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Sriracha ketchup.
yeah.
Okay, so you gotta dump it all in the center.
Nice.
Don't worry about it burning or anything. Just kind of just move stuff around for a second and let the tomato paste kind of just pick everything up.
So we're kind of starting to move our tomato paste around the
And
pepper.
that center part.
Yeah.
And then what we're gonna do is add the broth. Is this the broth?
No, it's the
That's the broth. Thank you.
broth is going next. The broth of choice.
So you could add more wine here if you want, or just broth. I recommend adding just broth. If you add wine at this step, it's just gonna make it a little bit too rich.
Okay.
So just add enough broth to kind of coat the circle.
Coating that center hole.
And then you're gonna start moving it around and start creating the sauce.
Cool.
So you're still just stirring all that middle. Oh, you're starting to mix everything in now?
Now after you kind of start to get the sauce going, you start mixing it in
Cool.
with the onions. And you feel like it's drying up, that's when you add a little bit more broth.
Okay.
So this is gonna be kind of a sauce. Huh?
Yeah, this is the sauce.
Got it.
Nice.
And there's a fancier way to pour from broth containers. I've not learned it.
Do you have like any kind of teaching when it comes to cooking or training or anything like that?
Not official. So dad was super into cooking. Mom was very advocate of like, do it,
Yeah.
learn it. Like she bought like, again, like the squid story. I was not ready to cook squid. But she was like, go ahead, if you want to try it, buy it. We'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. And I learned I wasn't ready. But then from that, I've had friends for like food cart to random things and help them out
Yeah.
casually. And then a lot of books and reading.
Nice.
Not to plug the library, but if you want,
Go ahead.
we have a great selection. Like I have
We do.
found
We have tons of cookbooks.
so many good
Yeah.
cookbooks outside of just the regular cookbooks, the A to Z library, like online resource for recipes.
Hmm.
So I have a rule of like, there's a place that has like a of recipes from around the world. I'll search Peru first because I know that place.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you have the mildly obscure stuff that isn't like the main stuff,
Right.
I trust you.
Yeah.
So I can safely say that the A to Z stuff that we have online
Cool.
has the mildly obscure stuff.
That's the best part about like, I mean, that's what makes it community cooking. It's like everyone probably has, a lot of people have a dish. I'm sure you have many.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have a dish they can come teach us how to make, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, everyone's got their thing. Everyone's got their thing they love to make that their family loves, that they
And
learn
that's-
from their parents. And like, that's what community cooking is.
And it's things that you normally maybe won't do,
Yeah.
cooking wise, but as soon as you hear about it, for example, the pumpkin tofu,
Yeah. It's gotta happen
I'm
now.
just like, that's just all it's like, I'm thinking about now. I'm just like, I want to try that. And I'm like, how have I lived this long without trying that stuff? Or like grilling stuff. Like, for example, I had a friend who was just all about grilling.
Yeah.
So he like showed, like he made us, we were like in high school and we went to his house and he was like made us just grilled asparagus while we're waiting to like, go back to our classes.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, this is such a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
And then like, but that char, that burn.
There's so many fun like avenues you can take.
Yeah.
Would you like?
I just posted a link in chat to our A to Z World Food Database that Gene's talking about, where you can find recipes from all over the world. You can look by country, ingredient, dish.
I highly recommend it. And just add your own spins to it. Like, don't feel like tied down to doing that recipe with that set ingredients. Because a lot of times you're not going to find every ingredient you need, but you can get pretty close and experiment with it. And just, for example, like the gochujang paste.
Mhm.
I bought it for one, I think it was to make soon tofu soup. And it's been a staple since then.
Yeah, no, you
I was like,
for
it's like
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
So Gene, Jennifer has a question. She said, with
Yeah.
the milk, could you make a white sauce, put that on top and sprinkle more cheese before you bake it?
With the milk, like, okay, so you want to make a roux with the cheese sauce and add that on top of it, like a kind of a bechamel.
You can unmute, Jennifer.
Yes, I was wondering if you could do like milk and thicken the sauce, do a white sauce with the cheese
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
top well before you bake it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you're integrating this milk.
Oh, so the milk is gonna be for the mashed potatoes.
Oh, right.
If you're using the milk and the cheese and incorporating both of those into the mashed potatoes to get this nice, it's not a roulade, but it's something. Can't be remembered. Knew it last month, but this month is like, but it's a dish essentially where it's cheese potatoes that are incorporated and whipped together, so you get like these nice stringy, cheesy pulls.
Ooh.
That's what we're
Sounds
going
good.
for with
but the
these,
milk will
with the
go in the
milk
mashed
cheese. Yeah.
potatoes. Okay.
All right.
Okay, good question, Jennifer.
But
Yeah,
you
thank you,
definitely
Jennifer.
could.
That
Like,
was a
if
good
you want to
question.
make like a nice like cheese sauce and put that on top of it, you can. The milk isn't used for this main sauce. It's primarily just for the potatoes. But if you want to add a more creamy base to this, you definitely can. I would just take out maybe the tomato paste if you want, and just add a little bit more garlic to it. And you kind of get a more kind of like white cream sauce with the mushrooms.
Cool.
I feel like the sauce you're making is a better contrast with the potatoes and cheese and milk. Yeah,
But again, cooking is all about to each their own.
totally.
Oysters
Make it your own, as Jamar used to always say.
Yeah.
is mix these onions with the bowl of the mushrooms.
So we're gonna put the onions in the bowl with the mushrooms. Yeah. Not the
Oh,
mushrooms,
okay.
the pan.
Yeah. So we're gonna just add everything in here.
Okay, the mushrooms, the onion, all that stuff is all together now inside this bowl.
Nice.
So I could probably just eat that bowl. I mean,
Just by itself, yeah. You
Yeah.
get a spoon, we're all
contents of
good.
that bowl. Yeah.
Get some toast. This could be your breakfast if you want it.
It does
Joe?
sound kind.
You could actually use this to make like empanadas or any like type filling type things also.
Oh
Now
yeah.
we're talking.
So you want to mix it up. Yeah. And just kind of get everything kind of incorporated and kind of like getting to know each other.
Nice.
Awesome.
So while that, do you want to do that?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and peel and cut some carrots.
Working on the carrots now.
All right. So you're peeling the carrot before you cut it.
Yeah,
All right.
to know it's argumentative.
Yeah, I'll admit I never peel.
I usually don't
Carrots.
either, but I want to be like, okay, let's do this.
You have to do it right if we're
Let's
gonna
do it right.
Yeah.
I don't be like, hey, you didn't peel the carrot.
But my
I'm
parents
sorry.
growing up always peeled carrots. I mean,
Yeah.
like always, they would be shocked to know that I don't peel my carrots.
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna save some of the carrot for the salad. It's half a carrot
So half the carrot aside for the
for the
salad.
salad to give it a pop of color. We're just gonna cut the carrot in half. Cut it in threes.
You're chopping it pretty soft, small,
Yeah.
essentially.
Because I'm gonna toss this in the pan with a little bit of oil
Okay.
and the paprika and the peas to get the last bit.
I'm going to take this opportunity to plug the co-op's multicolored carrot bunches that I eat nightly. Oh my God, so good. You get red carrots, yellow carrots, orange carrots. I just love the carrots at the co-op.
Favorite, man.
Yeah. And I hope you don't mind another shameless plug too, just to, that we have double up food bucks going in the co-op right now.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
if you yourself or if you know someone who uses an EBT card, double up food bucks matches the produce you buy dollar for dollar up to $20. So if you buy $20 worth of produce, you're going to get a voucher. There's the butter and the carrots in the pan. You're going to get an automatic voucher for $20 worth of free produce next time you're in the store.
Oh, that's nice.
I just this week I saw a woman, have the whole conveyor belt was full of produce. It was $40 worth. And she pulled out 2 double up food bucks vouchers. It was free and she left because she used her voucher. So
Awesome.
it's a really great program.
Yeah, it's a really good program. Yeah.
All right, so we have paprika, butter, and carrots.
Yep.
Right?
Just get them nice colored. Sorry for the scratching noise. If anyone is hearing that, other than me.
Scrape away.
Yeah, so you just want to get it like nice and cooked in there. Kind of do its thing. Give this a few seconds while we go get the potatoes and the beets.
All right.
Here's the beets.
Jennifer, that's if you have SNAP benefits, which are like the modern food stamp, that's what you can double up at the co-op.
They offer it during the summers at the farmers markets. That's what's been going on for a while. And then the co-op is at least the first grocery store in this area that offers it. And so essentially, if you buy produce with your EBT card, you get a voucher for more produce to bring home to yourself or your family, essentially for free.
It's a great deal.
Yeah, it's printed on the receipt. So when you take the receipt home with you, you get that voucher as well.
Thanks for mentioning that, Tim.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of the beet water. But
I've always thought with beets, like, maybe this is obvious, people do it, but like dyeing things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder,
you do
dyeing
share it with
clothes and
beets.
stuff like that, yeah.
I bet you could.
You just
I
need the
I wonder
proper,
if the dye would stick.
Yeah,
you have to have the proper mordant. And I'm sure there's a few books at the library that.
Yeah, probably.
Tell you that.
Take down.
Here. Certain mordants work for different things like food-based versus like plant or other dye-based.
If you have other spices you like to incorporate, like basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, now is a good time to do it. And it's not part of the recipe, but it's highly optional. I highly recommend it if you can.
Back to the beets, Joanne added that Native American used it for paint and celebrations too. Thanks, Joanne.
thank you, yeah, I
That's
was
cool.
wondering if that was the case.
We could take more from them and using our natural resources.
Absolutely. All
What was that
right,
you threw in again?
Oregano.
Oregano.
Okay.
now
How
we're
much
ready.
oregano did you put in there, Gene?
I put in 1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. Thank you.
So it might seem like a lot, but it is going to be incorporated with everything else.
Oh, right.
So that should help you kind of balance it out. And then we're going to add frozen peas.
Right.
Another staple to keep in the freezer.
Always
Oh,
have frozen
always.
peas.
Frozen broccoli is good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frozen green veggies.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Holds really well. Even corn, honestly.
Yeah, I keep frozen
Yeah.
corn in the freezer.
Yeah, I always have frozen corn.
So this one you're not trying to like fully cook the peas because they're going to cook more. Once everything is kind of like joined together in the oven, and really give it a nice melding.
And hopefully everybody's preheating their ovens at 350.
Figure out which capture for what.
Fortunately, they're looking good.
All right. And here's another bowl.
All right, this is getting exciting.
I know, we're getting there. We're getting close.
All right. So while I'm getting these potatoes, do you want to shred some cheese?
Yes.
So if you can shred some cheese.
How much would you say in terms of a half cup, a cup?
Let's go like a cup of cheese.
Okay.
You can always add more if we need more.
And remind us what kind of cheese we're using.
It was any kind of hard cheese. This is cheddar.
Okay.
Was there a kind you used when you made it yourself, Gene?
No, you actually use the same cheddar one, but just any cheese works. Like it's a preference on this one. But yeah, hard cheese works the best. Mozzarella is gonna get too stringy,
Oh, okay.
much water. While harder cheeses will just kind of like help absorb everything into it. Kind of like mix with everything nicely.
This
Cool.
is Alan's cheese grater that I'm using.
Oh, thank you,
I
Al.
was worried about finding a cheese grater, and Alan, our cameraman, just pulled one out. I know, like,
Awesome.
carries a cheese grater around with him.
Yes.
Yeah. Never know.
Not just one, but I have two.
In case he needs to defend himself someday.
Yeah. Against SpongeBob SquarePants or something.
I don't know, man. If I met someone like a dark alley and they pull out a cheese grater, I'd be afraid of them.
Yeah, walk away. Turn around and walk away.
So, Gene, are you putting all the potatoes in a big bowl?
Yes, we're putting all the potatoes in a big bowl. If you want, you can put it in a big pot and cook with it. But since the potatoes are really warm right now, I don't really feel like you need to heat anything else up.
Oh, okay.
We say a cup of cheese? Is that what we said? Okay.
So we'll do a cup of cheese. Then we'll do.
I'll err on the side of more cheese.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
a sliver of butter and just cube it up so that way it's easier to incorporate.
So you're kind of cutting up the butter. Sorry, I'm just gonna move that so they can see the chop.
Good. And then we're gonna start. Let's get another spatula. No,
Remind us how much butter you guys put in there?
I put in a sliver's worth, which was 1/8 of a cup.
An eighth of a cup of butter in with the potatoes.
And you're gonna start mixing everything in. The cheese.
Oh, cool. So potatoes are hot. The butter's gonna melt
Yep.
Oh, nice.
together.
So first mix everything into the heat kind of
Now,
really
if you
gets
took,
to
if
it.
your potatoes have been out for a while and they've cooled down already, we just do this in a pot.
Yep, do this in a pot,
Okay.
warm it up. And maybe I lied, might be more than 1 cup of cheese.
Want some more?
Yeah,
Fine.
thanks, man.
And Gene, all we're mixing right now is potatoes, cheese,
Butter.
and butter.
Yeah,
Okay,
because once you add the milk, it's gonna start cooling it down. So
sure.
you make sure you get the stuff that needs to melt first before you start incorporating the cool parts of it.
Sounds good.
Also, if you don't want to use dairy, you can use olive oil instead of milk to get the same creamy texture for mashed potatoes.
Oh, excellent.
Cool. Want some cheese in there?
Yeah, just go ahead and toss it in there. Might just get some more, just like sprinkle on top, but that sugar should be good. Oh, so that's the rain. That's the rain. I thought it was
Thought the oven was
water.
still on, but it was just the rain. So what's the consistency people should be maybe looking for with these potatoes as they?
You want to be able to
Without
spread
the
the mashed
milk.
potatoes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Without
almost
the
like a
milk.
butter, actually.
Yeah, you want
It's
to
like
be
a
able to
soft
spread it.
butter.
Yeah. If it's spreadable, it's good to go. If there's like clumps in there, just try to squish, like smash them out.
You want a good mash there then.
Yeah. But also, it's again a preference thing. I'm not a like chunky mashed potato person, but I know there's people who are like huge fans of that. I'm not gonna say names, but I know
Name names. Paul. No.
just Paul, just chunkiest mashed potatoes. No,
You know what I like actually? I like it when mashed
I don't think
potatoes
there's a way I don't like potatoes.
have- True.
that's fair. Yeah,
I like it when they leave the skin on the potato. You know, you see that
Yeah.
sometimes. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Like the heated baby people, like no, but it tastes good.
yeah. It's
Like it just adds a different like layer to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once you have the spreadable,
yeah, this is like super soft and
malleable,
malleable. Yes.
we're gonna add the cool parts.
Nice.
So let's actually measure it.
And so Gene, you're saying here, if people don't want to use milk, they'll just use olive oil.
Yeah, I'd use olive oil if you still want to get like the mash to get the nice like kind of creamy texture.
So it's
Cool.
about a milk there.
Yeah, a cup of milk,
Okay.
which would be like about a little bit less than a cup of olive oil.
Okay.
So it's like half of this if you're using olive oil to get the creaminess.
Maybe like a half cup of the oil.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you want to just kind of fold it into it.
Oh, okay.
Mashed potatoes are one of those things that just one of my
You
favorites.
can live off of it.
Can't go wrong.
Be angry with mashed potatoes every single day.
I must admit, I have them every night with dinner.
Wow.
Yeah,
Impressive.
that's consistency.
Life goal.
I don't think I can name anything I have every night for dinner.
I can be boring sometimes. Every once in a while, I won't have them if we make something out of the ordinary, but
Potatoes aren't boring though. Like mashed potato takes a bit.
yeah.
I guess that's why I'm impressed. It seems like it takes some effort.
Yeah,
You gotta want it, you know?
because I know you, Paul. No, you're not doing the instant mash stuff.
No.
So
I'm just steaming the potatoes, throwing a little butter in there, mashing and mixing them up.
Cool.
all right, so you want to get kind of this texture enough. Like if you start moving it around, it's gonna start sliding. Looks kind of like the early stages of making bread dough, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Good way of describing it.
All right, and then we can go ahead and turn off our burner as we add the peas to this.
So the peas are going in with the mushrooms and the
Yep.
onions right now,
Nice.
which looks excellent.
If you have any pan residue like I do, which I'll show in a second, if you have any pan residue, add a little bit of vegetable broth and bring it up to a boil.
It's almost like deglazing again.
Yep. Do another deglaze.
Okay. Yes. Are we going to that?
Yeah. So let's bring this back up to a high.
We're gonna get all that good stuff off the bottom, right?
Yeah. And just kind of enough just to coat the entire thing.
Cool.
All right. So just put enough broth in there to coat your pan at the bottom.
And while you do that, go ahead and start mixing the peas and the potatoes, not peas and potatoes, peas, mushroom, and carrots and onions. So you gotta finish up this like
Mixture.
mixture.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you just want to, just make this as a filling.
For St. Patrick's Day, I didn't know what to make 'cause I'm a vegetarian, and I really just associate corned beef and cabbage with St. Patrick's Day, and I wanted to make something. So we made they were called Irish like hand pies, I guess like pasties, I think.
Yeah.
Is the name for 'em.
Pasties. Yeah.
Pasties, I'm not sure. Yeah, and this would be a great filling for that.
Yeah.
You know, that the
Ever
breading
had
that
rolled cabbages?
rolled. I've had like
Okay.
Yeah,
Stuff
Oh,
really
yeah.
Yeah.
favorite
Stuffed
thing. in the world.
cabbage.
stuff
So
yeah,
good.
my family called it growing up. That
What?
was I think that's the German name for it, maybe, or maybe, no, Czech. That might be like the Czechoslovakian name for it.
Cabbage.
Or
goes
Polish.
for- It's one of them.
Slavic language areas, yeah.
All right, so you want to get
What's really, really good for St. Patty's Day is vegetables and, what's the beer?
Not vegetarian.
What's the beer?
Chicken.
What's the-
Guinness.
Guinness, Guinness stout sauce in
Oh,
a
yeah.
crock pot. That's good, guys.
I
Ooh,
bet.
tip.
While I do not drink beer, I am a huge fan of cooking with it. Like beer chicken
Yeah.
or like, let's see what else is there. A friend one time made beer rice. So kind of like you're making kind of like jambalaya,
Yeah.
just beer, rice, celery, onions, and carrots.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
At
That's
first I
cool.
thought it was gonna be gross.
What do you think the beer adds?
I think just a bitterness.
A bitterness, yeah.
Because like you want like the bitterness isn't like an ideal thing people want usually,
Yeah.
but you want a little bit of bitterness.
Yeah.
With your meals, you want a little bit of like something to challenge your flavor.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like, and culturally in a lot of parts of the world, like sour is actually a
Mhm.
big flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Bitter, but not so much here in the US.
And what is it? There's a Romanian soup where they just like put dollops of like sour cream into it. And it's like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
All right.
Okay, so what's next? We're gonna put
So we're gonna get our oven safe dish. We're gonna put a layer, and by layer I mean the whole thing actually, of the mixture that we've made, just at the bottom.
All right. So get your oven safe dish out and put your mixture on the bottom.
And you want to try to get as much as you can out of your bowl, pan, pot, whatever you're using.
Excuse me, wouldn't it be an 8x8 pan because you guys use double mushrooms?
Would it be-
8x8.
Yes.
Oh, what size pan
In
we're
terms
using?
of size,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah.
what size we're not sure what size we're using, but whatever you have, I'm sure you could
Yeah.
make it work.
Yeah.
But I could imagine a skinnier, almost like a bread.
A bread
Yeah,
pan.
I think that might work, Jennifer, because they might be making a little more for the crew at the co-op. So,
As long as you can make it evened out, and just kind of
Okay.
flatten everything out.
So
the
as long as
size
you
of
can
the
get a
pan-
flat, even
Yeah,
consistency inside the pan. you should
because there's gonna
okay.
be a little bit of bubble over with the mashed potatoes.
Right, 'cause the mashed potatoes are gonna go on top, so you
Yeah.
have space.
so you don't want it to come right to the top of the pan.
No.
Right, okay.
Okay.
You just want it-
And he's creating like a nice flat surface right now. He's really spreading it out in that pan. It's like
Yeah. This
Let's
is
see that down.
a batter or something.
I learned that I add too much liquid. I need
Thank you.
So
Cool.
then for that, with your mashed potatoes, you're gonna be adding a dollop
Nice.
every section.
Oh, okay.
to make it easier to work with. So I found if you just add the whole thing, you can spread it easily.
That makes sense.
And then you lose one of them and you only take a photo of the other one that turned out good.
Cool. So you're kind of spreading it out on top.
Yeah. And this is where if you want, you can add more cheese, more stuff to it.
Oh, with a layer of cheese on top
Yeah,
or something.
So it gets nice and golden. Because everything, technically everything's already cooked, everything's good to go. But by putting it in the oven, we're just gonna kind of marry and merge these flavors a little bit more.
Okay.
Excellent.
So before you do this, also, I forgot to mention, if you want to do a salt check, that is highly recommended.
Check and see if it's salty enough for you.
Yeah.
That's more.
If you
If
need
not,
to,
you can always add salt after it's cooked, right?
yeah, you can always add after, there's no issue.
Yeah.
But that's the time where I'd recommend it. Also, if you want to get real cute with it, you can add like, you can use a fork to add lines to it, due to like decorations.
Mhm.
But that is past my skill. I do not know how to do pastry decorations.
And I will add that some of our cooks last month who cooked on our snow day did do that. They sent me the picture, so I did see some fork designs.
Cool.
This is a good like family meal essentially.
Yeah.
Plop this down in the center, everyone just grabs a little bit.
Yeah.
And go them doing this on their own too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they did awesome.
Yeah.
I've read my instructions, they were not clear.
Well, those
So-
instructions were supposed to be for me, not necessarily the cooks.
So way to go on them. They get like double gold star. This is a
Definitely.
project.
Yeah.
They passed flying colors.
Cool. So is that?
Yeah,
Going in
so
the
this is
oven?
gonna be going into the oven after we sprinkle a little bit of the cheese on top of it.
Oh, okay. So sprinkle a little of your cheese on the top.
More cheese.
If you want to do some herbs, you can feel free to add some herbs on top also. I wouldn't do basil because basil would burn, but oregano and rosemary work fairly well,
Okay.
especially for like the whole like thing of rosemary. All right, so this can go in the oven. And then we're gonna do the beets.
Right? Okay.
Do we need to set timer for the oven, Gene?
Probably should. I'm gonna say
When should we check on it? 10 minutes?
like 10 minutes. Essentially, we're playing by eye, seeing that everything's nice and golden and is cooked through.
Cool. So they're setting their timer for 10 minutes. So if you're putting them in the oven right now, we have your timer set, but otherwise set it for 10 so we can check them.
All right, so the beets should be almost cool to touch. Yeah, we're gonna do that for the beets.
Okay.
We're gonna toss in that garlic we saved earlier.
Sure. Oh, into here?
Yeah.
Okay, so put the garlic right in there. And this, whoops, some cheese in there too.
It's all good. All right, and we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vinegar.
So put your garlic in with your beets and 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, right?
Balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
Then
For balsamic vinegar,
One more time, Jennifer?
what could you use as a substitute for the balsamic vinegar?
Oh, good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I would use, if you have the wine, use a little bit of the wine. If you don't have the wine, apple cider vinegar. Any vinegar works. Trying to think. It's just not going to be like a rich, bold flavor, but it's still going to bring out the sweet notes from the beets.
Cool.
Nice.
We're going to add to it by adding a little bit of sugar.
What would you say, a teaspoon of sugar?
Yeah, like
Maybe
less than a
less?
teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon of sugar? Quarter?
Just a little sugar, less than a teaspoon.
Sprinkle of it on top.
Yeah, we're not going crazy with the sugar, just a little
And
bit.
then, let's say quarter a teaspoon of the salt.
Quarter teaspoon of salt.
And you're gonna just kind of mix all those in together.
Got our garlic, our beets, balsamic vinegar, salt, and a little bit of sugar.
And just spread that out, make sure they're not touching, and they're spread out fairly smooth and evenly. Cool.
On parchment paper, right?
Parchment paper. Or whatever.
I think for us, it helps to clean up a little bit. You know, that's might be the biggest reason, but
So you could do it without the parchment, right, Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it aluminum foil. You can just plop them however you want. It's up to you. You don't even have to use the oven if you don't want to. You can use a stove.
Oh, right.
Put them in a pan if you don't want to use the oven. But since we already have something in the oven, it makes sense for me to just toss this in with it.
Sure.
And then we'll work on the salad.
really getting down to the final steps here.
Nice.
All right. So the carrot piece that we saved earlier, you can either chop it into like thin lines, use a peeler to get those nice thin lines. This is just to add a little bit of a pop to the salad.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Peeling carrot, my favorite thing.
You want to get the nice little.
I feel like carrots add good like moisture too.
Mhm.
You know.
And crunch. Like,
Yeah.
they're versatile. Like my fan, like the purple carrots.
Yeah.
I'll just have those in anything now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Carrot can be like surprisingly, I don't know if juicy is the word, but I'll go ahead and use it.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's
it
juicy,
really
yeah.
adds some moisture. Yeah.
And like all carrots taste different.
Yeah.
Like I'll use like the white ones if I want something that has a bit of more like heat, gives a nice balanced flavor.
Yeah.
The purple ones by themselves will just roast them,
Mhm.
and they have a strong flavor just by themselves.
Are we gonna need a separate bowl or something for the salad? Maybe?
Yeah.
You want me to grab?
And Gene, are the carrots going to go with the beets then?
Yep, the carrots are going to be going with the
That's
beef,
what okay, cool.
Just raw.
just raw. Yeah, you could cook them if you want. I don't see the point in doing it because it's salad,
Sure.
and you already have a bit of a cooked element to it.
Right.
Then that, let's see. Let's make a basic dressing. Which I might have added this a little bit earlier.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Sugar, the beets have sugar and they're coated in sugar and you're baking it. Will it kind of have a crystallized effect or does the
Yes.
vinegar?
That is
come
the
around?
goal. The goal is to get them nice and crunchy so they have kind of like caramelization going on around with it.
Okay.
So like it should ooze out its own sugar, but then the added sugar on top is just so it coats it and we get a nice crunch when we bite into it.
Nice.
Cool. Another good question.
Great
Good question,
observation.
which we appreciate
Yes.
it.
Very good.
So
So we're making a dressing. You're starting with some balsamic vinegar. I guess apple cider vinegar would be a substitute.
apple cider vinegar or whatever salad dressing you'd like.
Yeah, or maybe you have some salad dressing already at home that you prefer to use.
So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of balsamic.
That is one thing that was kind of I've gotten into in the past couple of years, which is just making your own salad dressing
Yeah.
quickly when you make a salad. If you have some vinegar and you have some oil and maybe you have some oregano or something like that,
That's a good
mustard, you
one.
can whip up a salad dressing.
One of my favorite salads in general, it's a breakfast salad.
Oh, interesting.
So, for example,
Breakfast.
bacon or mushrooms or something that you're like, meaty.
Yeah.
You fry that up with the leftover oil and like whatever like fats broken out of it.
Yeah.
And make your salad dressing using balsamic vinegar to get it to the nice balance. If you
Yeah.
add some more, if it's too acidic, you add too much balsamic, you add some more olive oil to get like a nice thing. And you pour that over spinach, so kind of wilt it a little bit. You add your cheese and then you add an egg on top of it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to try that.
All right, so we're gonna do a pinch of salt, which would be like 1/8 of a teaspoon. Let's do some oregano. Thank you. And also just 1/8. Just kind of sprinkle it in there. And I'm a fan. Do you like pepper?
I do like pepper, yeah.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna add some pepper. I can't ever get enough pepper in things. And now we're gonna do 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon?
Nope, I lied. That's too much. We're gonna do one,
Like a sprinkle maybe, like a
just a
pinch.
sprinkle. Yeah, don't do too much pepper. I love
Okay.
pepper. I'm not even doing that much pepper. So don't listen to me. And then we're gonna just whisk it up.
Cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, so that was balsamic vinegar, that was olive oil and pepper.
Yep.
We did,
Oregano and a little bit of
And oregano.
And then you get this nice little like creamy like texture with it. And you whisk it. We toss
Oh, and I
the,
like, yeah, you put
Carrots in
the
there?
dressing in, you made the dressing in the bowl you're gonna put salad.
makes it a lot easier.
That's smart. Usually I'm making my dressing in a separate bowl and a separate dish I have to wash.
I have an issue with
And then I just pour it on
you
top
do
of
like a
salad.
salad, but sometimes you like the top has the dressing and then or just only the bottom. You have to like
Yeah.
balance it out.
Cool.
All right. Do you just wash it? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Cool. It makes it so much easier. All right. So we're gonna toss in lettuce. It's so leafy, dude. So nice. Sorry, I'm just getting impressed by the produce.
Yep.
Who said?
Is that the Valley Flora spring mix?
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
I like to know it just from like seeing. I can't name a single thing that I see. Just like it's like, oh, is that this? And like, I don't know, I could be wrong.
I'm in the co-op like every other day getting something. So
The spring mix is a real distinct
Oh, yeah, it's lovely.
appearance to
This
it.
is like a nice like
Yeah.
heft
Cool.
to it.
So we got our
All right,
salad.
so you got the salad done.
excellent.
So the beets are just gonna go over that once they're done cooking.
Got a minute
Awesome.
timer, so that's good.
Yum. So glad I can't smell that. I'd be dying here.
Yeah. Have you eaten dinner yet, Paul?
No.
Getting there.
I'll be running to make dinner after this.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, we have our stuff in the oven.
Mhm.
We have our salad done. At this point, as soon as the stuff's done in the oven,
You're set.
you're set.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I would recommend letting the pie cool.
Yeah.
So it's not super runny.
So let it
But
sit for a
honestly, if you
while.
have time to let it cool, that's on you. If you don't, just go ahead and just dig in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So essentially, we're waiting for everything, like 1 more minute to go, and then we're gonna just kind of flash broil them to get the nice color. Because the potatoes will need some more color, and so does the.
So it'll get kind of like a brown on top.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're talking the beets, right?
Oh, do you guys have a hand torch?
No.
Oh man, I got excited because I'm gonna change one of the earlier questions. Hand torch. That's my favorite
Do
thing.
you have one that you use?
Yes, I have a small little hand torch, and I made like 3 sandwiches with it.
That's cool.
So it's like 3 and just bread, and I'm good.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is my favorite. I would have remembered. Thank you.
Yeah. No, the immersion blender was, I think, my favorite answer that I heard.
I
That's
know.
great.
I found one at the thrift store across the street for $4.
$4.
$4.
Yeah.
Because they're all little broke. It's like, yes.
Should we take a look over here? You can see.
Yeah.
Bring it on there.
All right. So the sauce is bubbling up, so I know it's getting incorporated. So what I'm gonna do is just take the pie out, put it in a broil.
It's gonna take the pie out. We're gonna broil that in a second.
The beets, and then I'll broil the pie afterwards.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Oh yeah, that pie heated up quick, didn't it?
all right.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And that's looking good and ready.
Nice.
And then yeah, that's it. Essentially, so what I'd recommend this time, for example, I don't have a kitchen this big. So I would usually during this time while I'm waiting for stuff is doing the cleanup, which is not the most fun part, but it is crucial for a
Necessary.
small kitchen. Yeah.
And then less to do after you eat, right?
I know, yeah. Finding those times when you're just waiting for something to cook, it's a good time to do it.
So I like recipes or cooking stuff that has a little bit of a lull because it gives you time to do other things.
Yeah.
Definitely.
With people, if you're hanging out with your
Oh, yeah,
family,
just
it's
having
like now you
drinks
have
with
20
people
minutes
talking,
just
yeah.
to hang out and wait for your thing to cook. That's the best
Play a
part.
quick board game,
Yeah, play some cards.
get angry about it, and then just storm out and start being ruined.
Put a record on.
Record on. Yeah, absolutely.
Some good tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions regarding it or any like issues that we're facing?
Yeah, feel free to unmute, put them in chat.
Can you use rutabaga?
I haven't cooked a lot of rutabaga, but I'm assuming yes.
I love rutabagas. I don't like beets.
You don't like beets? That's fair.
Rutabaga is good.
But yeah, rutabaga, I don't know.
He's sick.
I don't like.
I don't know much about rutabagas to like give a full opinion about it.
Rutabaga, we had a few months ago, I guess last year, fall, wasn't there one of our cooking classes where we had a big discussion about rutabaga? Most people didn't know. about
I feel
whether-
like that was like the November or October recipe where Tamar made a soup with rutabagas.
Yeah,
What's the flavor profile of rutabaga?
I feel like it's kind of similar to a beet.
It's like it's similar to a potato. My
Yeah,
Yeah, potato?
used
Okay.
to mash rutabaga in potatoes.
Is
Right.
it kind of like in between a potato and a turnip?
It's a mild flavor.
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Paul,
so
yeah.
you
Yeah.
can use it interchangeable with beets, and you're more than good. I might even be better on it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, some people don't like beets.
Yeah, it's controversial.
Yeah, I'm not a beet person. Heavily. You know this, Paul.
Yes, I do. I like beets. I think they're good.
I think fresh beets make the difference.
Yeah, the best beets I've ever had are the fresh ones I've gotten at the farmer's market and cooked right away, so good.
Yeah.
They have those like gold ones, I think. Oh man.
Yeah, right. We have those here.
Yeah, those are good.
And there was I saw someone just cut them up and put them out on a platter, like like a vegetable platter.
You just have them wrong.
The gold ones, yeah, they just cut them up and put them out on a platter, which I never thought about eating raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least the gold ones. I don't know how well that works.
Were they good raw?
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, they taste honestly pretty similar. They just have a little bit of punch.
So I think that
I would think they'd be good raw with like a little feta cheese and balsamic vinegar, maybe.
Yeah,
we just have appetizer cooking one then. Just make
What's
a-
that, Gene?
Just do a whole appetizer show.
Yeah.
Do a little appetizer with like fresh fruit, veggies.
yeah. Everything you can
That's
do.
a great
Yeah.
antipasto. That goes really well with wine.
I bet.
Perfect. I'll have like wine and then your appetizer that you're making. Just like eat them as you go.
Yeah.
How much more time you think?
So the beets
How
are
long do
caramelized as much as I want them to,
Uh-huh.
but for the sake of it, I'm gonna swap them out.
Cool.
Put them in your oven a bit longer.
We want them to caramelize and kind of
They'll be like char a little bit.
look char.
So if they get the char,
what
Go ahead, Joanne.
what temperature should you be caramelizing the beets at?
if you can broil them at a high, if you can't broil them in an oven, just kind of cook them in a pan. Because the beets take a little while, because they have a lot of,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. That meat's steaming over there.
Stacy said, thank you. It is yummy. Rutabaga is a good idea. She said, I don't like beets, too much starch. Next time I'm using frozen broccoli for peas. Okay, cool.
Cool, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a little,
Patricia said, how about doing a show that you make sauces to use with any meat, potatoes, or rice and a vegetable? I need some of the different sauces that go with things. Oh, that's a good idea, Patricia.
Yeah, that is a cool idea.
my favorite sauce, I'll give you it right now. So you blend up some onions, cook it in a pan, blend up some cilantro, add it, you're done. Just cook the cilantro
Onions and
onions.
cilantro.
Yeah,
Nice.
favorite thing.
Wow. If you say blended, you mean actually blended?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
put it in the blender and
Wow,
blend it, and then you
cool.
cook it.
Very cool.
Any oil with it, or just? You
put any
oil in with it?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Just
I
have
would
it
put some
all-
oil in it, just let it cook, and like essentially like the cilantro will go from this bright green to this kind of like murky brown. A little bit of like lemon juice to it if you want to dip stuff into it, or you just like toss it in like some veggies, meats, potatoes, whatever you want, and you have a stew.
Cool.
If you like
Nice.
some fruit, I know it's again another one of those things that you either like it or you don't like it.
Yeah, I love
Stronger,
cilantro.
but
Yeah. Cool. So we're getting beets out right now.
yep.
Ours, maybe yours are still taking some time, which is okay.
It's hot.
I have a question. Would putting cilantro in the salad with the beets and the greens, would the cilantro,
There's no cilantro in this. I was talking about the sauce. I would make like a quick
What-
sauce.
right, would cilantro taste okay with
Oh,
the pepper?
yeah. Herbs will taste really nice with this. If you toss in a little bit of cilantro, if you have a little bit of mustard, I would add that to the sauce we made, and it'll bring out and balance the cilantro flavor with the carrots and
Oh yeah.
Cool. But it sounds like cilantro is a good idea. So that's awesome.
Good question, Jennifer.
beets in salads.
Mint.
Yeah. To bring it a little bit more like freshness to it.
Fresh. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
That pie looking
Pretty good. It's almost there.
nice.
A few
So
more
you
seconds.
just threw the pie in on a broil?
Yep, pie on broil, just to get like the nice top, a nice golden or like golden-esque color.
Yeah. Yum.
That was good.
Yum.
Tried it. Paul's already tried it. He knows the ending. He knows it's going to be delicious.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous. You get to try it tonight.
Versions. The original one had meat, and then the other one had like mushrooms, and the mushroom one tasted better than the meat one. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm curious if anyone tonight's cooking with meat, or if they're just completely following us, or if there's anyone working with, was it beef?
Yeah, I recommend beef.
Yeah.
Suzanne said, looking forward to it. It smells delicious. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm glad.
Enjoy it.
We added shredded chicken to ours.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
nice. Good question, Tim. I didn't even think anybody had added meat.
Yeah, 'cause that was optional on, I think,
Yeah.
on the recipe list.
Yeah, I did get to try both Gene's meat version and his vegetable version, and I thought I would like the meat one better, but I think I like this one better. And
Yeah.
historically, I'm not a big mushroom guy, but the way he prepares them, you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, mushrooms are where it's at. If you know how to like cook with mushrooms, it's so much fun because they just absorb so much flavor. Like
And they're-
meat
and they're
shoots out
meaty.
flavor,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
mushrooms will absorb it. So like
Right.
you'll get the meaty flavor in the whole thing. The meat itself, I think that's okay.
Oh, and Penn
Mushroom.
said she put some cooked bacon on some for her husband. Nice. And
Got it.
Suzanne just sent us a bunch of hearts.
Bacon and mashed potatoes. That sounds delicious.
It's the dream.
Thanks for being here. I'm hungry.
Hang in there, Alan. We're almost there.
I'm trying not
There.
to, I'm trying not to faint.
I was telling Gene earlier, make sure to make some for the cameraman, the crew, because you're going to be torturing Alan there behind the camera.
Yeah. I'm gonna move this.
I tried to have a big lunch
The thing
to
here.
this afternoon.
Good. I'm glad.
That would be totally.
Yeah, I should have had a larger lunch. Now that I'm like halfway through this, it sounds like I'm hungry.
Hungry.
It's easy to skimp on the lunch.
Yeah.
It's ready if you want to.
Might be. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quick question.
All right, our pie is ready.
Yeah. What was that, Jennifer?
So you guys mentioned to let it cool so that you let it rest for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or how long?
Yeah, I would let it rest for a good 10 minutes at least. So that way the sauce kind of goes back to be more solid and like liquidy runny. But you can also just eat it as is with the runny sauce. It's just the sauce is going to be a bit runnier.
And just to make sure we heard you, Gene, you said you let it sit for about 10 minutes generally.
Yeah, that's
you
what he
don't
said.
have
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's up.
nice.
to. It's just to be easy to scoop out and
Less danger of burning the roof of your mouth.
yeah. All right, and this is it.
We did
So-
it.
I just want to check in. I think all our cooks are doing pretty good. Is there anybody cooking along that's not near the finish line?
We're eating already.
I see that.
Yeah, how is it?
Delicious.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay, well, we can plate some up.
Yeah.
Good job, Gene.
Mhm.
Penn said thanks. Looks like Steve and Joanne are enjoying theirs.
Or do you want to do that? Do you want to get that?
This like,
Let him plate.
Mhm.
Yeah, pick out the nicest looking one. Cool. Okay.
Tim, don't forget to take a picture of what you guys are plating for me,
Yes, absolutely.
please.
We've got Alan here. He's not.
I don't think any of us are as trigger happy as Jamar was with the camera.
I snuck off and took some pictures a little while ago.
Oh, good.
Just
Thank
the
you.
process here.
Awesome. Oh man, I bet that is so good.
All right. There's
He'll
more.
bring some tomorrow for your lunch, Paul.
Yeah, I can hope.
Hey, Paul,
Yeah,
you like just cruise to their station and when when you're done with the call and just have them save you a bite to eat?
I probably should have. I think I'm just gonna go stay home and make dinner, but I probably should go over there and get some. One time Jamar actually brought it to me. That was very nice.
Very nice.
But like I said, I was lucky and I got to try this a couple months ago.
Yeah, I usually use most of the people working in the library to test out recipes.
And we are more than happy to be his guinea
Excellent.
pigs.
Yeah.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. Careful, but I'm gonna taste test too.
Exactly.
That looks like you. Oh, no.
That's not me.
Kind of looks like you, honey.
Delicious.
Mhm.
Delicious.
What do you think, Tim?
Really good.
Oh no, that was
It's a lot of my favorite things.
No.
Mushrooms, mashed potatoes.
More of the plate. Got it.
The filling.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry, maybe I should go in some.
Filling.
yeah. So it kind of like has more character to it.
Don't forget your snapshot for the meal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Back to this. Right now.
So also, if you ever make, well, you have made this, but if you make this again, you can also freeze it up and it stores really well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
So it's a
interesting,
good
yeah.
meal to like do in advance prep and then reheat whenever you're ready to eat.
So you just freeze it in the pan and pop it back in the oven when you're ready.
And if you want, you can like cut it out, like pre-cut into squares, so it's easier to scoop out.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
You're eating out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It in a glass dish. Don't you let it sit on the counter to reach more of a room temperature instead of having a drastic temperature change and having the glass shatter? Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Very
want-
good idea.
Room temperature, not just like. What?
Oh, yeah,
Unless you want shards of glass with your mash.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want to ruin that pie with
Yeah.
shards of glass.
yeah. Yeah, no way.
Mm-mm.
was-
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did everybody finish? I know a few of you don't have your cameras on. Thanks, Joanne. I don't think Patricia was cooking along. Jennifer, are you cooking along?
No, I was very confused. I didn't know what the beets were for. I didn't know what the arugula could have been for. I didn't have and I'm not particular about balsamic vinegar, and I didn't know what to use as a substitute. And so this is kind of like an inspiration. I like watching it first, and then so now I know how to make it. I've got the ingredients, but I wasn't sure about balsamic vinegar, and I had no idea. I thought they better not be mixing the beets and the potatoes together.
Yeah.
No.
You don't like balsamic vinegar, just use, again, just any dressing that you like or you prefer more. And you can just roast the beets however you'd like, or opt out for the beets. I would personally opt out for the beets sometimes.
I love beets. I've never tried beets and potatoes, and I had no idea what it was gonna be, how be mixed together. But I do like the mustard with the sauce and the cilantro because I could have that balsamic vinegar that way. It would kind of calm it down.
If you have, what are they called? Scallions. What's-
Yes.
Oh, what's the other onion?
Shallot?
Shallots?
You thinly sliced shallots, and that'll also like help out with the cilantro, make the salad a bit brighter and give it a bit more of a crunch crisp with the shallots.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. If you have any other questions outside of this meal cooking wise, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Susan, were you cooking along? I have a feeling she's not, or she probably would have piped in. So I think everybody has finished their meals.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good
Have a
job. Thank you guys so much.
I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
So I prefer white pepper, and I have been having a trouble trying to locate a store that sells the white pepper
Ah,
or a certain location.
I believe the co-op carries bulk white pepper, or they used to.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I've seen it there in the past in their bulk section. Do you guys have it now, Tim?
I'm not sure actually, but
I've bought it here before, so.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully
so
they
it sounds
still
like
have
we
it.
have it in our bulk section, so
Thank you.
we can help you find that, yeah.
Awesome. And Jennifer, I did see your email, and Gene and I will send you the recipe tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll refine the recipe so it's a bit more thorough and get it all up in there.
Thanks for your questions too.
Yeah, really good questions. Thank you so much. All right. Well, if everybody's all set, I think I'm gonna go make some food. Nothing quite like this. But you guys enjoy. Awesome job, Gene, Tim, Alan. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, and Joanne said Steve's already going for seconds.
Nice. That one's yours.
Yeah, thank you guys for an excellent recipe. Such a fun time. You never disappoint.
Thanks,
Okay.
Joanne. It's always great to
Thank
have
you
you and
so
Steve with
much.
us.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys joining us. And Patricia said, thank you. It was great. Thanks, Patricia.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you all later.
What
Have a
show?
good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to Community Cooking.
Thanks.
Good night.
Later.